Alright, so today we will be talking all things foundation, from longevity to making sure it's not cakey, prepping the skin, making sure everything stays in place, doesn't dry out your skin, look gross, all of that. So without me rambling on any further, let's get into it. So first things first, obviously skincare is like the way to go. I rather invest more of my money into skincare and having good skin texture, smaller pores, just healthy skin overall, instead of buying 20 million different foundations. I love foundation, I love makeup, but skincare is really where it's at for me. I do use a lot of retinols. I'm currently on a prescription Retin-A. I'm using the 0.025. So I do deal with a lot of dryness, I deal with a lot of flakiness, I deal with a lot of literally peeling, so I found a way to really just balance everything out. Now, even though I am peeling and my skin is still drying out, I am still producing oil, I still get foundation separation. So it really is like an uphill battle, to say the least, trying to find a balance of treating the more dry skin but also treating the more oily skin. My favorite moisturizer of the moment is this Avène Calm AD. It is for moderate dryness, skin prone to atopic dermatitis, skin prone to itching. I find that this is amazing. I've literally already finished one of these. Avène is a great brand if you are very sensitive, if you have rosacea, a lot of like really sensitive and inflamed skin. It really helps to calm it down. So when my skin is very dry from my Retin-A and retinols and exfoliating and all that, I really love that. I use it on an everyday basis and I feel like it doesn't really break down my foundation or feel very heavy and humid on my skin, so I really have been loving that. So as far as primers go, there has been one and only one for me. This is the Benefit Professional. Mine looks disgusting and it's like literally running out. I've been through probably like 6 or so of these. I'm trying to get the last bit out of here, and I literally take it only here on the sides of my nose, on my nose, and in the center of the forehead. Sometimes I'll take it on my chin, but I tend to get very dry on my chin and I don't really have any issues there. I just put it there to be extra. Now they do recommend to pat it. Everyone says pat it, don't rub it, but I rub it. So as far as foundation is concerned, I tend to switch it up. My go-to lately, I really like the Urban Decay All Nighter. I'm literally out of this one. This one I like to use in my oily areas. This is in the shade 3.0 actually. So I tend to take this in this area here, a little bit on the forehead, but mainly right across here. And I only use like a beauty blender for foundation. I can't use a brush because personally, if I use a brush, I feel like it micro exfoliates my skin and then I'm prone to more dryness, more peeling, skin that's just coming up that I didn't want to come up. Now for the rest of my face, I like to use my MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC25. This honestly is a little bit dark for me. I've never in my life been this pale, and I've mentioned it in past videos, and I might need to get NC20 because it's still going to be dark for my neck. And for those of you who say that I'm not yellow, my neck is very yellow, my face is very pink. I'm trying to counteract the redness in my face by using a yellow foundation. For anyone who's asking and is about to like lose it, because I know some people just get very click happy. That, and I only like to use like a pea-sized amount, but I really like to spread it out first before I blend it. And then beauty blender, like I said, I only use beauty blenders for my foundation, and I literally just work it into the skin. Okay, so if I ever experience any kind of patchiness to weirdness while I'm applying my foundation, what my quick fix is personally, I really like this MAC Full Coverage Foundation. I like the shade MW25 because I feel like it's very correcting, and I literally just take my beauty blender in it and then I dot it wherever I have like any kind of like patchiness, dryness, and it just smooths everything out since it is more of a emollient cream almost, but it doesn't make me oilier either, and it has a lot of coverage in it. So I like doing that. I don't have any patchiness that I can tell today, but what I am going to use this for is I like to use this as like a bit of a corrector under my eyes. So I'm going to take this on my Real Techniques like angled foundation brush, and I literally take just a little bit, and this foundation looks like really light right now just because I have so much discoloration around my eyes. So once I even out everything else, then my eyes aren't evened out. It looks a little bit off, but we'll get there. For under eye concealer, I'm gonna take, let's see, my Fair Neutral Shape Tape Concealer by Tarte. I want to go this light. I actually think I'm going to take a little bit of light medium. What I'm going to do with this, then take it right from this inner corner and then up this way. Same thing on this side, inner corner, up this way, and I apply this literally all over my nose because I just have a lot of issues with my nose. And then take this chin, cupid's bow, sides of the mouth, and then center of the forehead. This does have some yellowiness to it, and I really love this undertone, but I do like a bit more brightness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fair Neutral Shape Tape Concealer and just kind of bring some brightness right there. So the first place I blend out is right underneath the cheekbones. I kind of like to let underneath my eyes marinate a little bit, if you will, just because I feel like it really just helps to, because these are kind of like that bond building or that like film building concealer, kind of like a MAC Pro Longwear, to where they set. So the longer they're on your face, the more they're going to kind of start to set in, which means once I go back in to blend it out, it's going to kind of stay in place. I only do this with like on my under eyes because that's what I want. I want it to stay exactly where I put it basically and just blend out the edges, so I let it sit for a little bit. So again, that concealer is very full coverage and also very long lasting. I've never had it crease on me. So again, this goes with the whole like 16 plus hour wear because I do have these very long work days. For bronzing, cream bronzing, I feel like personally my face tends to eat up any kind of bronzer. So I like to have a cream base and it prevents that. So I'm taking this LA Girl concealer in Fawn. These are very long wearing, very cheap, very affordable. These are great concealers, especially for like highlighting and contouring, so I would definitely recommend them. And I take this right on the cheek, and then literally all around the forehead. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender now that I have that all applied. And with my cheek, I always tend to blend upwards. You never want to blend down. So I just take this very lightly and kind of angle it up so that bronzing shade will only go from hollow of the cheek upward. And then the rest I literally blend all the way back into my hairline. So I've noticed as my skin has changed, I can't just go in straight to baking. I have to set my under eyes first and then kind of work my way up. I find that it's because when I go in straight with baking, it just kind of constricts the skin and my skin gets very crepey, it gets very tight. Even like the most lightweight moisturizing hydrating powder, if I go straight in with a sponge and some baking powder and my under eyes are very moist, if you will, I feel like it just kind of clings on. So I always tend to go in with the setting powder and then I bake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix powder in NC20, which is this one right here. Obviously I love it. On my Morphe M554 brush. I go on my beauty blender right under my eye. And I just set it. So for under eye powders, I love the RCM8 No Color powder. I actually decanted it into a Laura Mercier, a little translucent powder, the container. So I decanted it in there because I just can't with a salt shaker. And I need easy access to it, and I'm gonna take some of that on a black beauty blender. And I literally go right underneath. And then I go right here where I get big pores. And then I go all over the nose. And plus I wear glasses on an everyday basis too, so this helps with that. I take it on the forehead. And I am literally just pressing it in. You can go over the little bit too, if you ever get like creasy lids. And then I just kind of take that powder and I work it in. So I don't really leave my powders on that long. I actually am gonna dust it off literally after I get done applying it. So again, I'm kind of just like patting it. I don't want to rub because again, when you're constantly like rubbing your skin and you have very like dry peely skin, it's not always the best. And as you'll see, I'm not gonna use like a setting powder. I'm literally taking my powder off but also applying it everywhere else, if that makes sense. So now for bronzing, I really want to have more of a neutral bronze. What I've been using lately is this Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Powder in 80 Rich Tan. I also have this in my skin tones. This is an amazing powder. It's great if you have like problematic skin and if you're more oily. This keeps you very matte. And I like to use the shade as a bronzer. I feel like it lasts forever and it's very neutral, kind of like cool toned without being ashy. And I've been using this forever, tried and true. I love this powder. I've had a color that I've used for under the eyes and it's worked well. I have one that's been for all over my face. It's worked well. I've probably gone through like 6 of these, ranging from kind of dark to light. This is the Morphe R7 from the Rose Gold collection. I like this brush. I know they make it in their regular line and it's called, I don't remember the number, but it's just this kind of like paddle brush. This one's shedding a lot though. So yeah, like literally, like I have brush hairs on my edges, like. Moving on. So for contour, I'm actually taking this Morphe. It's one of the gold brushes a lot of people use for highlight. I like very small brushes for contour. I take Love Triangle contour shade from Makeupbydg. And I'm literally gonna go right under the cheeks. And then for blush, I'm gonna be taking this Makeupbydg blush in shade Smitten, which is like a nice, really light peachy shade on this Beach Cosmetics number 3 brush. And I'm just gonna blend it back. So off camera, I'm gonna apply my highlight because I'm going to have a video coming all about highlight and how I like to apply it, my favorite brushes, everything all about highlight, because you guys have been asking me about that like for so long. So I'm gonna have a separate video on that. I'm actually gonna do that part right now and I will be right back. Alright guys, so this is my face complete. I did some shadow, brows, lips. I did a couple videos today, so those will be coming soon. The last thing in my long-lasting foundation routine that I always do is my Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray and the oil control formula. I like this. It doesn't really dry out my skin. I just drown myself in it really. And I try not to make any expressions when my actual setting spray is still setting, just because if you're making a lot of like expressions or like laughing or anything crazy like that, those areas are going to crease because they are hydrated at that point. So yeah, try not to talk even though I'm doing it right now, but oh well. And I'm just fanning myself off with this mirror that Milk Makeup sent me. Thank you, Milk Makeup, for this. It's a great fan too. So when I'm trying to keep my makeup on for 16 hours, I definitely take my setting powder with me. I love a good foundation powder. I feel like it'll hide any texture, or if I have any kind of makeup breakup, I can just really take my little setting brush, go in there, good to go. Other than that, that's all I really carry with me. I don't take any mascaras, liners, anything like that. Obviously, lip products in my makeup bag, I probably have like 10 different shades of nude lip colors, but other than that, my makeup usually lasts with this technique. Obviously, if you get oily on your cheeks, be sure to bake your cheek area or anywhere else that you do get really oily. Again, like I said, I do get dryness and patchiness and peeling, so I can't really bake any other areas. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and thumbs up this video. And until next time, I will see you then.